Hello there and welcome back to the Net Report. Chris here, and today I am here to talk about the Denver Nuggets and just how amazing they have been in this playoff run. The NBA world was completely wrong about the Denver Nuggets, and the Nuggets continue to prove their doubters wrong throughout the course of these playoffs, playing amazing team basketball and just overall playing like the best team in these playoffs so far, which has led them to reaching the NBA Finals rather convincingly in a very tough Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets seem to be very disrespected and underrated going into the playoffs this year. According to the opening odds for FanDuel Sportsbook betting, the Nuggets were listed as the third best team to win the Western Conference right before the play-in games, with the Phoenix Suns and Golden State Warriors ranked ahead of them. It really seemed like most people were underrating the number one seeded Denver Nuggets, who were consistently the best team in the West throughout the whole year, and certainly the most consistent and deep team in terms of depth and role players. Of course, a lot of this had to do with how stacked the Western Conference was going into the playoffs this year, and it really seemed like many of us were overthinking our playoff predictions, when it seems in hindsight it should have been the Nuggets all along. Even I didn't have the Nuggets as my odds-on favorite to start the playoffs. I had them second behind the Phoenix Suns. However, after the first round and the Suns' apparent lack of depth, as well as how good the Nuggets looked in round one, I felt confident that they should be the favorites in the West after that. However, the NBA world and media still had their doubts. Many felt that Jokic's style of play and his defense would not amount to championship level basketball, despite consistently playing well in the 2021 and 2022 playoffs while being shorthanded due to injuries. Many felt that he would be exposed on defense in high pick and roll offenses like the Phoenix Suns and the Golden State Warriors, and that he would not be able to score efficiently on great defensive big men like Anthony Davis. However, he completely shut those narratives down and has been amazing these playoffs. Jokic has by far and wide been the best and most consistent player this postseason, averaging a ridiculous 29.9 points per game, 13.3 rebounds per game, 10.3 assists per game, shooting 47% from three, and has a 61.9% true shooting percentage. These are just insane numbers. The fact that he's averaging a triple-double on amazing efficiency is something we haven't seen in NBA playoff history almost ever. These insane playoff performances by Jokic have truly led the Nuggets to being the best team in these playoffs so far, only losing 3 games throughout this run. And to me, the biggest reason this Nuggets team has been so great throughout these playoffs is how great their 7 to 8 man rotation is with very few weaknesses. We all know in the playoffs, lineups get more condensed and rotations get much shorter with only 7 to 8 players typically playing any night, and the Nuggets by far have the best rotation left in the playoffs. They easily have the best starting 5 we have seen in a while, with Jamal Murray at the point, who has just been incredible, jumping into that second star role, averaging 27.7 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 6.1 assists, while being super efficient from the field, shooting about 40% from 3 and 48% from the field this postseason. Murray has been able to consistently get to his spots, whether it be from mid-range, driving to the rim, or coming off a screen for 3, and just continues to knock down shot after shot, most notably in the Lakers series, where it seemed he was on fire and just could not miss a shot. And he's truly just been amazing throughout these entire playoffs. Next to him at the other guard spot, you have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who has just been an absolute sniper, shooting 41% from 3 on about 5 attempts per game, and has like always played very good perimeter defense, and just overall is the perfect 3-and-D player to pair next to Jamal Murray in this insane Denver lineup. Next, you have Michael Porter Jr., who also similar to Jamal Murray, just seemed like he could not miss a shot in the Lakers series, hitting contested 3 after contested 3. And Michael Porter Jr., that's his game. He's able to become a volume scorer and just score at will. Porter Jr. being such a crazy volume scorer on a team with Jokic and Murray makes it super difficult to defend this team, having to account for so many elite scorers in the lineup. And oftentimes, like in the Lakers series, it leads to him being open and going off certain games. At the other forward spot, you have Aaron Gordon, who is having his best season as a Denver Nugget. Aaron Gordon has completely transformed his game and has become an amazing defender, as well as just a great cutter and finisher and screen setter, which plays well off of Jokic's playmaking immensely. Gordon, like I said, has been an amazing defender, taking on defensive assignments like Kevin Durant and LeBron James throughout these playoffs, and he's truly proven how valuable he is to this Nuggets lineup. Finally, you of course have the 2-time MVP and probably the best basketball player in the world right now in Nikola Jokic, who, as we have mentioned earlier, is insane everywhere, from his playmaking to his scoring to his ability to just overall run the offense. He's been amazing these playoffs, and he really needs to be applauded for just how well he's been able to lead this Nuggets team throughout these playoffs, especially after having to overcome the last couple years where they've just been decimated by injuries. After that amazing starting five, you still have some really great players off the bench, starting with Bruce Brown, who has been incredible these playoffs. He's had multiple 20-plus point games throughout these playoffs, and he is showing he is truly one of the best bench players in the league. You also have guys like Jeff Green and Christian Braun, who while they may not get a lot of minutes, they're very serviceable, and they come in for a few minutes to give the guys like Michael Porter Jr., Kentavious Caldwell-Pope some rest. And even guys like Reggie Jackson, who we've seen in the past have been very serviceable in the playoffs, he's getting DNP'd, and that just goes to show how amazing this Nuggets depth is and how deep their team is. And this is all headed by an excellent coach in Mike Malone, who's been able to adjust and game plan very well from series to series. So this Nuggets team as a whole is just extremely well-rounded from top to bottom. This Nuggets team overall has just been sensational this playoff run, and I expect that to continue in the NBA Finals, and they are my pick to win in the Finals regardless of who comes out in the East between the Heat and the Celtics. Jokic and the Nuggets just seem on a mission to avenge the last 2 years that this team was not able to play at its best due to injuries to Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. The last time this Nuggets team has been healthy in the playoffs was in 2020 during the bubble, and now that they are back healthy, it should be no surprise to us that they have been able to build off that season, and now they are in the NBA Finals. This Nuggets team is very reminiscent of the Spurs teams we've seen play in the past, and what I mean by that is they play perfect team ball. They move the ball around, they find the open teammate, and get everyone involved, and just overall play the game as a team. It may not be the flashiest style of play in the world, but if you are a true NBA fan, it is truly some of the best basketball and most beautiful basketball to watch, and it's a big reason why they've been so successful in the playoffs. All in all, the Nuggets continue to prove their doubters wrong and prove they are not just an elite regular season team. They are an elite playoff team, making it to the NBA Finals for the first time in franchise history, looking to win their first title. They have truly put the NBA world on notice for those who have not been paying attention or overlooking them. Overall, shout out to the Nuggets for their playoff run. I expect them to continue this stellar play in the finals, and they have a really great chance to bring Denver their first ever championship, which would be absolutely insane and make Jokic an absolute legend in Denver, helping to bring their first title and cement this team in NBA history as one of the greatest of all time. Truly a well-rounded, well-coached team that does not get the respect they deserve, especially from the NBA media and the casual NBA fan base. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Did you underestimate the Nuggets going into these playoffs? And do you think they will beat Miami or Boston in the finals? Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy the content, hit that like and subscribe button. We will continue to upload NBA content throughout the playoffs and off season, so subscribe to stay up to date. Thank you for joining us once again, and take care.